Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? Here to answer those questions and so much less, I'm joined by an expert in identifying all kinds of assholery behaviour. It is the wonderful Christopher Hall. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I thought you were going to say expert in identifying assholes. And I was like, fair also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying it. Now, do you think that you are an expert in identifying like asshole behaviour? Are you good at calling out asshole behaviour when you see it?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty observational.
Yeah.
And I think I give like good advice or good takes on things.
Yeah,
I don't take my own advice ever.
You don't need to. No time.
Exactly.
Too busy identifying assholes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm ready for the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Now, I'm a big fan of yours. Now, I see you pop
Thank
up
you.
on the socials all the time. Now, you're a comedian, you're a writer, you do a bit of everything. But
Yeah.
content creation is kind of, I guess, a way that you really rose up through like TikTok and Instagram on all the
absolutely.
channels. So how did that kind of start? Because if people don't know, you do this amazing thing where you do with your sister, Elizabeth.
Yeah, my little sister. Yeah.
So you two do backup singers.
Yeah.
And it is so funny. No microphones in the stand.
Absolutely
and
not.
Absolutely no time for it.
Yeah. Why on earth would we have those?
Yeah, I know. It's silly of me to ask.
Yeah. For goodness sake.
And it's become such an iconic thing on social media. Did you two just sit down together one day and kind of decide that was a fun thing to try out?
We literally, I had my housemate had moved out.
Yeah.
And my little sister Elizabeth, she was in the States for about 4.5 years.
Yeah,
so she moved back to London, and I was like, oh well, Rosie's moving out. Like you guys, you could move in.
Yeah.
That was all good. We get on really well. And then we were like redecorating the flat. So we'd had done the living room. We were painting the bedrooms, moving all the furniture around.
Yeah.
And it was like 1:30 in the morning. We'd had a couple of drinks, and I was listening to
How all good ideas start.
Honestly,
Yeah, that's right.
how else?
Yeah.
And it just came to me. We were listening to Moona, "Stay Away," which was our first song, and it had first video, and it had like that weird kind of underwater background vocal in it.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that would be funny if like there was two singers and they were doing like some silly choreography and singing just like, it's like stay away. So, we just did it. We like choreographed it, did it, filmed it at now maybe 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and you can see in the video like the room is upside down and like half painted and like there's just like boxes.
Because it was a
and stuff.
massive renovation.
Yeah. It was like not quite the time to be like creating an ambience. And then we just did it and then kind of thought, oh, maybe we'll do a couple more. But Or we'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere and has become this
Did the first
ridiculous situation. Yeah.
Did the first one take off? Like, was it the first one that happened, or did you do a few and then they kind of started to build?
It took off to the extent that we were like, oh, we'll do another one.
Yeah, great.
Then Moona commented on it. So we were like, oh, cool. Like, that got to their For You page, or somebody sent it to them it within 24 hours. And we were like, that's pretty cool. Like, so then we did, I had a great following at the time. I mean, it's gone, because of these videos, it's gone mental in the last year. But it had I had a good following, and it went well enough for us to do another couple. Then by the third, fourth, fifth one, I was like, Elizabeth, these numbers are amazing. We have to keep this going. She was like, oh my God, I've got a life myself. And I was like, you don't now.
You don't. You can never go back to the States. You live with me now in this place that's still not painted fully.
You'll be grateful.
And you'll be grateful for anything that you get, Elizabeth. God damn it, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So when did you realise that it kind of took off? Like, did you have a moment where you went, oh wow, people actually know me from this? Was there a moment for you?
There was. So it was the moment we did our first collab. Someone messaged me from Polydor and they were like, hey, the Jonas Brothers are in town. And they'd love to do, whether it was them saying they'd love to do a video with you, or it was their representative saying that we
all the Jonas Brothers got together.
Well, to be honest, Joe was pretty familiar when we got there. Great. He was like, I love the videos. And he was like, he knew the choreography already. And I was like, sir, this is ridiculous. You did not need to know this.
Like, on a different level, but I've done like podcasts before where like the publicists will say, oh my God, they love this and they can't wait to come on. And then when they're sitting there, they're going, and what is it?
You're just a silent tear. Just don't worry about it. Yeah.
My mascara's just running. Didn't even know I was wearing it, but my mascara's just slowly running down my cheeks.
So
when the Jonas Brothers were with you.
That first one, because I hadn't ever figured that was a possible thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're like, oh, you know, do you want to come and do this? And I like, messaged Elizabeth being like, lol. Apparently we're doing a video with the Jonas Brothers. And that was just, that was a moment where I was like, this is
different.
Out of control.
Yeah.
And then just people, I mean, I get recognised a fair amount in the street.
Sure.
But it was just maybe like late summer or fall last year where like just some of the numbers of the videos was just unbelievable.
Yeah. And Sophie Ellis Baxter and people as well. Like there's been so many different collabs now, I guess, where you can see how much it's impacted that world.
Yeah. And it's opened up because before I had like skits and characters and sketches and stuff in my stand-up, which was great, or it is great. But I feel like if you just like doing a dance with like music and stuff like it like just sends it to like loads of people, like
of course.
So many people that would never have like been interested in me, you know, pretending to be a fly on the wall or whatever stupid thing I'm doing that day. It just like brings in a whole extra like
of course people from all different countries and and so in your stand-up now, like has that kind of impacted the way you do stand-up? Is there like, you know, do people come along expecting you to do some of the backup singing stuff? Has that kind of impacted the way you do stand-up?
Yes. So in Edinburgh last year, Elizabeth came up for the month with me. We have family up there, and she was starting uni in September, so I was like, do you want to come up to Edinburgh and just kind of hang out? You can be like my tech, and like we can just, you know, rock around Edinburgh together. And we ended up, she got up at the end of the show and we did a live performance of it. So she played the guitar and we sang Faith Hill This Kiss and did like some dancing and everything. It was like it wasn't even 2 minutes of a performance, but it literally brought the house down, I must say. I was like, I could have just stood here in silence for 52 minutes. And then I was like, and now welcome to the stage, my sister, Elizabeth Hall. And everyone was like, yeah!
That's amazing,
So that was amazing. Then we did it in the London show after that. And then I haven't been able to bring her to Australia, which is a shame because it would have been nice for her to be here. And especially in Adelaide, everyone was like, where's your sister? And I was like, oh, sure. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right.
And I'm not enough?
I now know that I'm not. And that's a good realization to come to.
Next title of the show, I'm not enough.
I'm not enough.
I'm not enough. I'm so sorry.
So people do come and especially people who only have followed me from the background singers who might not even know that I do sketches or anything. They kind of just
sure.
So I do get people that come and go, oh, I wasn't expecting the show to be that, but I liked it. And I was like, well, that's good. That's all that matters.
It's just you as a fly on the wall for the whole thing.
Bit weird. They're like, I kind of wanted that monologue about you being a slice of bread, but don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But I think going forward, I would love. There's definitely somehow. I think the bit. I love that people just get it, and I just love that people like it. So I think hopefully there's a life. There's something it can turn into.
Absolutely.
We're not sure exactly what that is yet. I'd love to do something live with my sister. But she's not completely sold on doing lots of live. She's like loves singing.
Well, she's studying and
she's studying. And she's a singer-songwriter, but I think she likes being, you know, behind the scenes a little bit more. So we'll figure it out, but we're not quite sure what it might turn into. But
that's so exciting though. You can say watch this space if you want. If you want to say that, that's up to you if you want to say it. I don't want to put you in that corner.
Oh no, watch this space. There'll be something.
There'll be something. How have you found touring Australia? Like, is this your first time that you come and perform stand up in Australia?
Definitely first time performing. So it's been amazing. I just can't believe that I'm so far from home. And then people are like coming to the shows and stuff. Like I knew from DMs on social media, everyone's like, come here, or you know, love from Sydney or love from Melbourne. And I was like, okay, sweet. And then when the opportunity came up, I was like, oh, we're definitely going. There's you know, people there and it'll be great. And then as I kind of arrived is when it kind of dawned on me. I was like, we're like, you've only done stand-up. I mean, I've done around the UK, but 90% of my gigs have been in London. So like, as soon as before the first Adelaide show, I was like, what if nobody gets, or like, what if like none of the jokes land, or what if...
Sure. Yeah.
Or what if everyone just laughs at different things? I was just like, oh my God, what if this goes horribly wrong? But it's been just the best. I've had so much fun.
That's great. And you've got a Sydney show coming up. So that's
Sydney
next week
show.
when you're hearing this. So
Yes.
you'll be, where are you performing?
The Comedy Store.
Oh, great. That's such a good room. It'll be
excited.
amazing. Yeah. So then after that, are you going back to, you're doing Edinburgh this year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, going back to London.
Yep. Oh my
no, that'd be
God.
nice.
You're over it.
I know. Oh, tell me. But to be honest, I missed March, and I'm going to go home to hopefully a slight spring in the air.
Yeah.
Back to London, and then Edinburgh again this summer.
Yeah, wow. So you're so busy with stand-up, and does the content creation stuff, is it hard to, I guess, keep up to date on that? Because I look at the amount that you know you're able to produce all the time.
Yeah.
Is it hard to kind of, when you go traveling for like, you know, you're away for a month, is it really hard to keep up with that content on a regular basis?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
And I can sometimes it feeds each other. So I can be like super inspired stand-up wise, and I go like, and that's a bit, and that's a sketch, and that's a sketch, and I can feel really like in the pocket in that so to speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I think for the first couple years of doing content, on every vacation I went on, I was like, I still need to do a sketch.
Sure,
like, you know, if I was on holiday with my friends, and I was like, I need to go and do like a sun lounger sketch, and
Yeah.
and I've like calmed down a bit with that now. I'm like, do you know what? When you're on holiday, just be on holiday.
Your friends
and,
like going on holiday with you now?
Yeah, exactly. I do solo content trips. No, I've kind of managed to be like compartmentalize a bit, and I think this Christmas was one. Like a couple Christmases ago, I was doing like 12 Days of Christmas sketches, and like opening the present on Christmas Day sketch, and then this Christmas I was like, just take a couple weeks.
Just open
the present. You don't need to make...
just open it.
Just enjoy like people in real life.
IRL.
Yeah, so I've like been able to like kind of find a bit of a balance now, I think, which is good. So I haven't really done much since being here, because I was like, I feel there was enough for the senses to just take in.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe over the next couple of weeks while I'm here, now I've got the shows out the way, and they went well, the sort of Adelaide and Melbourne show.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get some, but it is a balance for sure. And I think because I started in lockdown, I was doing daily videos. And then as soon as like life changes, you get like, oh no, like, you know, you can get really overwhelmed and thinking, like, oh my God, I've not got any inspiration. It's all over. But no, it's good.
Am I not enough?
Yeah, I'm never enough.
I'm never enough.
There's one thing. There's one conclusion from.
That's what. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. I feel good now.
Thank you so much for joining me.
But when you're in a good mindset with it, they kind of feed each other.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's so exciting. Well, look, I have some wonderful, wonderful people I've found on a wonderful website called reddit.com.
I'm ready.
You're ready?
There's nothing good. If it doesn't come from Reddit, I don't want it.
You don't want it, that's right. You're always saying that. You've said it like 6 times before we started.
Yeah.
When there was a lot of tech issues. It took us like half an hour to get started. Now, I've found some wonderful, wonderful people for you today. Christopher, is James the arsehole? Am I the arsehole for telling my girlfriend that she needs to get a life? For worrying about me clipping my toenails in bed? There is more to it, I swear. But
James.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, James, if it carries on...
Yeah.
I'm thinking you might be the
arsehole.
But if it stopped there, but go.
So say once a week I clip my toenails freely in bed. Like once a week, his toenails must be growing very quick.
They seem pretty demonic toenails.
We bought the bed together, so I rightfully own one side of my bed. You don't.
No,
you don't.
You don't rightfully own it down the middle.
Yeah, we split it in half.
That's not how.
Imagine them splitting up a dog if they ever break up and go, I own half of it.
I'm
going to take the back half, please. The right, if you're wondering, he said. So if you're wondering what side he sleeps on.
That wasn't my concern, but do go on, James.
And every once in a while, I will just start clipping my toenails in bed. My girlfriend keeps complaining and says, I love this
Typical
like women,
woman.
am I right? Wow. That'll be the soundbite for the podcast. You and I going, women, am I right? And says, stop, like I'm leaving them in the bed. I'm not. I'm putting them in the toenail jar.
What?
The toenail jar.
Please.
I didn't know I had the definitive article
James,
there.
you
You're a mess.
This is tough. This is tough to hear. A toenail jar.
She's even asked me to get rid of the jar by the bedside table. Women. Women again.
Oh, cry me a river.
She said I was an arsehole. I don't think so. Am I the arsehole? Now, Christopher, what do you think when you hear that from our wonderful, wonderful friend James? What are your first thoughts?
I don't know if arsehole's the correct technical term for whatever the fuck I just heard you do. There are so many things you can do with your toenails that aren't putting them in a jar on the bedside table.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's like bin, there's flushing them.
There's not doing it in bed on the right side that you own.
I'd rather actually them grow weekly to talons and like sprout through your shoes than you cut them in bed and then put them in the toenail jar. How often do you empty the jar?
I don't think he does it all. I reckon it's just
is it a collection?
If she's complaining about it, it might be more of a collection. It reminds me of like, you know, if you ever read like the Guinness Book of World Records with the man with the really long fingernails.
Yeah, and they like twirl like that. That is wild. I remember looking at that in school and being like, you are fucking with me. That's what happens to them.
And why are you doing this?
Yeah, and like, how did it get
to that point?
Yeah, you've broken the record now, but like, there's a lot of time in between that where people are like, hey, you're going to cut your nails? It's like, no, I'm going for the record. It's like, all right, well, in the meantime, you can't open a door.
Yeah. You do you, boo.
Have you got a sponsorship deal because you can't work or leave the house?
You can't text people. You can't do a whole lot. And imagine just him sleeping. I was always worried about him sleeping as well. Going, where do you put your hands?
Oh my God, you'd have to have some kind of protective thing. You
or
just
a stand that you put your arms up in just overnight. Gorgeous to sleep next to. It is disgusting.
But I'd rather that guy than James.
Me too. Yeah. So I imagine him sleeping on the right side of his bed, which he owns outright. Now,
that's crazy. Which I own half of legally.
Don't you dare get on this side.
I don't know whether legally ownership of beds really. I feel like wherever you bought it, they go like, yeah, it's yours. And it's not like a written deed.
And all the single people out there are getting really upset that this person has a girlfriend as well.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
I don't do that. I didn't do that, girl.
What is going on?
The bar needs to be higher.
It does, absolutely. Yeah. So you're saying in this circumstance, do you think that James is the asshole?
I think so.
Yeah, well, look, the wonderful people on Reddit like to feel better about themselves, and they quite often say, not the asshole, and they have, in this case, said, not the asshole, which is brutal.
Fine. That's tough.
That's tough. We got the next one. Is Jen the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend that it's not my problem his dad died? Longer story here, but I'm not letting on.
No, Jen, I think we need context.
I think that's all we need to know, that you're a bit of an arsehole, Jen.
Now's the time to give us the longer story.
Longer story here, but I'm letting on. But my boyfriend's dad died a few months ago, and there was a funeral. I was thinking things will go soon back to normal, and he would talk about different things.
Jen.
For context, I was at the funeral there to support him.
Yeah, I would think so.
But she's like, isn't that enough?
I love how both have been like, yeah, well, like,
I do the bare minimum.
I went to the funeral. I would hope so.
I'm doing bare min over here. Yeah. Isn't that enough?
Come on.
The other day, I was running late to something, and he broke down crying because the thing was really important to him. And he said he wished his dad was still here. I told him it's not my problem that his dad died and to grow up. He said I'm the asshole, which really hurt my feelings because I've never seen myself that way. Am I the asshole? Now, Christopher, look, I imagine they were going to something that was really important to the dad, and she's just had enough.
Important to the boyfriend.
Yeah, to the boyfriend.
Yeah. So it's an important event.
Yeah, important event, and he really wished his dad was still there. I'm sure it was something quite nice. And then she's just gone, it's not my problem your dad died.
Which, okay, it's not her fault the dad died.
We've never said that.
I mean, we're assuming, unless there's a darker...
subtext there. We don't know about Jen.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. We haven't said that.
It's not Jen's problem in the sense that she doesn't have the same connection to her boyfriend's father.
Yes, we understand.
So if we're going like there's only two sides of the coin.
Yeah,
Is it the boyfriend's problem and Jen's problem? Comparatively, it's not Jen's problem.
Yeah, sure.
But her problem is taking care of the grieving son who she is in a relationship with.
Yeah, well, she went to the funeral.
That is your problem, Jen. And I would say...
Be a nice person, that's what it's all about.
Telling him to grow up...
It's not my problem.
Unless you are 14, I don't know, maybe. And in that case, no.
Yeah.
Jen, I'm going to say you picked your words incredibly incorrectly, and I would say you're the arsehole.
Absolutely. And I also just like that, she's
I went to the funeral.
And that's enough.
Yeah,
that's more.
That doesn't
than
just
enough.
tie it in a bow.
It doesn't. No. She
Yeah.
sounds like she'd be a massive asshole in every situation. Now, look, Reddit have disagreed with you on this circumstance.
Wow.
And they've said not the asshole.
Not the arsehole.
Look, if you want to, I think that if Jen was talking to any of her friends, that's why she's on Reddit. I think a lot of these people end up on Reddit because all of their friends have gone, no, you're the arsehole.
You're the arsehole.
Like, his dad died. We know it's not your problem. We've never accused you of killing the dad.
No, you didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah. Especially if it's like something important to...
Yeah.
If it was like, we're going to the supermarket.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we're late.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed my dad died as well.
Yeah.
I can see how that might be tough. Challenging for the relationship. It's challenging, Jen. But I still think we could have picked our words a lot better.
Absolutely. She's having a wine writing on Reddit late at night.
Fuck this. Yeah.
All my friends are telling me I'm the arsehole. I don't think
but I'm going to go to my Reddit family.
And beautiful people on Reddit. We've got the next one. Is Noel the arsehole?
I'm
probably going to guess.
Say yes.
Yeah, probably. Am I the asshole for kicking my neighbour's bottle of milk down the hallway? He gets his milk delivered, and it's usually right in the way, closer to my door than it is to him. I like that we don't need to know what size this is or anything because it's a bottle of milk. Like, it's not in your way. We know it's not in your way.
They're smaller than this water bottle, right?
They are,
They're like
absolutely.
the little glass ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So tiny. He could just easily walk around that maybe or just move it to the side. He gets home a tiny bit later than me from work, and I've told him many, many times that he needs to talk to the milk delivery team operation.
As if they haven't got enough to fucking do.
I know. I'm going to kick it if you guys don't come and move it. Yeah. I love milk delivery team operations.
Milk delivery team operations. Yeah.
If I worked delivering milk, I would definitely call myself that on LinkedIn.
MDTO.
Yeah. To stop delivering the milk in the incorrect place. I say, stop it. I say, stop it.
I say,
stop it.
Can I have a little bit more drama? Can I have a little bit more performance there?
I say, stop it.
Yeah.
I say, stop it.
Brilliant.
Is that good? Yeah.
Oof, I felt I felt Noel in that moment.
Absolutely. Losing his mind. But does he listen? I'm not so sure he does. I've told him 10, maybe 20 times, nothing in between.
Yeah, 10, maybe 20.
Maybe 20, we don't know. And he still isn't listening. So the other day I saw him walk in after me and I looked him in the eye and kicked his milk down the hallway. He was very upset with me and told me I'm the arsehole. I don't think so. What do you think? Now, Christopher, what do you think?
No.
I mean, I think you know what Reddit are going to say, but what do you...
No, I need you to find peace.
Yeah, chill out.
I need you to find joy.
Yeah.
And listen, if the biggest problem in your life is a bottle of milk that is slightly closer to your door than it is to the actual door where its destination is,
Sure.
I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, life's all right.
I think life's okay if this is what we've come. Jen's had a dead dad on her hands.
And she's over it.
And she went to the funeral. Annoying. And you have a bottle of milk that may or may not be outside your door sometimes. And I'm going to need you to find joy in other corners of your life.
Yes,
please,
stop screaming,
please.
Stop it.
Stop it. Maybe also form more of a constructive plan of action than just yelling, stop it.
Yeah. Use your words.
Because your neighbour has been at work all day.
Yes, yeah.
Can't hear you just yell, stop it in the hallway to nobody. The milk delivery team.
Yeah, operations team
did deliver milk to the correct address.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
They've got a lot of other shit to do as well, I can only imagine.
Yeah. Getting calls from him all the time.
I think kicking.
Yeah.
As soon as you kicked the milk down the hallway, I'm going to say you lost all credibility with me.
You did, absolutely. You draw the line
and
there.
you become the crazy scarecrow man from next door. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the horror films, you become the spooky, grumpy man from next door that kids are afraid of, Noel.
And rightfully so.
Kids are afraid of. Cats hiss at you.
Yeah.
And the cows are pissed off because you just kicked over their...
Yeah, that's right.
Their milk.
And the milk team do not want to come anywhere near you.
The milk team aren't coming back. The rest of the hallway now stinks of dairy.
Yeah. I bet it's smashed
the
on the way as well.
is fucking with you.
Yeah. Everyone's upset.
And you got to live there still, Noel.
Yeah, Noel. Wake up to yourself,
Yeah.
Noel. Now, of course, Reddit have said, not the asshole. I think we've got a few more. We've got the next one that comes from Trudy. Is Trudy the asshole?
Okay. With a name like Trudy, I'm tempted to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Trudy, it's innocent until proven guilty for you.
Am I the asshole for telling my best friend that her boyfriend looks like the Grinch from the film The Grinch? I love the explainer. From what film?
If
The
he
Grinch.
does,
then he does.
Then no. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to see a photo. But go.
I met her boyfriend, and he has the hairiest face I've ever seen. I never said he was ugly.
Okay.
I never said that. I love that going. You definitely said that if you keep going. I never said that.
Yeah.
You did. It's more up to her if she thinks the Grinch is sexy. And if she'd like to continue having sex with the Grinch.
Sure. Okay, Trudy, you're doubling down a bit too much now. The way they deliver these, if they weren't assholes, they would actually... Some of these stories you could really spin...
Absolutely.
In the right direction.
In a nice way.
Yeah. If she wants to fuck the Grinch, and she wants to go down on the Grinch, and she wants the Grinch to fucking steal Christmas...
You want to suck that hairy dick? That is up to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I met him, I made that comment to her, and she told him. He was quite upset by it, apparently. Not that it's my problem. Love that.
Yeah.
He was upset. Not that it's my problem.
Yeah, but you started it.
And you said it. And there's been a lot of tension between us recently.
Yeah.
I told her it's not really my problem, and she asked how I could be so heartless. I told him to his face when he said he was upset, and apparently it just made the matter worse. I love that he was already upset. And then she goes to him and goes, you look like the Grinch. You do look
like the Grinch, though.
You do. And so I want you to hear you say it.
From my mouth. I want that to be no confusion. Trudy said this, and Trudy is saying it now.
Yeah, she talks about herself in third person.
Yeah. How could you not? With a name like Trudy?
Am I the asshole over here? Hard to say. And then 6 exclamation marks after that.
No, Trudy.
Trudy's a mess.
Trudy, you are a bad person.
Yeah,
I think hairy face doesn't necessarily mean ugly.
Sure.
True.
No, true.
Observing that he has a hairy face is fine.
Yeah, but you don't need to say it.
You could... I don't mind you saying, oh, your new fella, he's got a hairy face.
Got one of them hairy faces.
Yeah, because I think if your friend then went... That's mean.
Yeah.
No, that's an observation. He has a hairy face.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
A weird thing to maybe bring up, but if your friend was specifically saying,
yeah,
what do you think of his aesthetics?
Yeah.
Trudy, you could say, my observation is that he does have a hairy face.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
The Grinch is green.
Yes.
And the name Grinch, he's not called the elf or the flower.
Yeah.
The Grinch is a nasty sounding word.
Who hates Christmas, famously.
It implies it's a negative connotation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you doubling down on calling him the Grinch. You could have said he looks like a wolf or a bear.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Or he's got a hairy face like a cat, like a sort of whiskers.
Anything. Yeah.
But you sort of chose Grinch, saw it caused hurt.
Yeah.
And you went, I'm going to twist the knife and say Grinch 3 more times.
And then
I don't mind if you want to fuck the Grinch. It's not my problem. I love how these people sometimes they start out as friends or their partners.
Yeah,
and then go, it's not my fucking problem that I've hurt your feelings. I'm like, If you didn't want to be my friend, we could have just stopped this ages ago, Trudy. We could have parted ways and you never would have had to meet Tom,
exactly.
Or whatever his name is. Interesting. They're just going, not my problem.
They lose their minds every time with anger. It's not my problem. None of this is on me. It's like, you said it.
It's kind of you, like Grinch never was brought up.
No, you
in
keep
the conversation. Interesting. Trudy, you could have played that a lot better. And you
definitely.
also could have written the story on Reddit. I love how people are so vulnerable and so honest on the Reddit post.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas like if I had done this, I'd be like, oh, I called him the Grinch, but then made a joke out of it. And then I love the Grinch, so I didn't mean it as an insult. You could have really spun that to get us on your side.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you really were like, no worries.
You doubled down.
I fucking did it. Now what?
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
Not my problem that you're upset
Am
about
I really? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're saying, the arsehole.
She is, yeah.
Well,
and she really dragged. She
doubled down.
Yeah, and I was ready to support Trudy.
Yeah, we all were, Trudy, and you fucked it for yourself. Reddit have said, not the arsehole. Is Izzy the arsehole?
Fucking hell.
Am I the arsehole for throwing my auntie's keys in the bin?
What are the keys to? Okay, Izzy, if maybe your auntie was a little overserved.
Yep. Yeah.
And to stop her driving home, you threw her keys in the bin.
Yeah.
That's
fingers crossed for that. I think you're going to be disappointed, but fingers crossed. She was being a real bitch that night.
Okay.
And I just had enough of her. She just kept saying the rudest things to me, and I was simply quite over it.
Okay, fair enough. Auntie might have been saying some horrible things. Like she's the Grinch and it's not a problem that the dad died. The auntie might be really bad.
Really bad. The night continued, and she was just getting ruder and ruder, so I told her that she needed to get out of my face.
Okay.
She told me that I need to grow up. I told her to get fucked, and then she told me that I need to mind my manners and I was far too old to be behaving like a spoiled brat.
Okay.
I grabbed her keys when she wasn't looking and threw them in the bin on the way home. She had a 3-hour drive home that night and couldn't find them anywhere.
Okay.
Am I the asshole?
I need to know what the auntie was saying.
We don't have any. We don't have any more context.
So Izzy's done a good job there.
Yeah.
Because if she was like, my auntie was saying, I need to get a job, fucking bitch. Like, and be like, okay, Izzy, maybe we all need one of those.
Sure,
or like,
sure. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know that there's now not enough info.
Yeah, imagine if it was really bad stuff. So let's even say that it was really bad stuff. Yeah.
Then
she threw them in the keys.
Then throwing keys in a bin as kind of revenge goes.
Yeah.
That's kind of also funny.
Yeah.
It's a bit, and it also could be, oh my God, I was cleaning up and I accidentally threw your keys in the bin. I'm actually really sorry, auntie.
Yeah, you could apologise for this.
Despite you calling me a fat bitch or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you did.
But we don't know, because all we've got is, she told me to grow up, I told her to get fucked, I told her to get out my face. And over the evening, she was getting ruder and ruder.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit elusive as to quite what was happening.
And that's not grounds to just throw keys in the bin.
No.
On the way home as well. So it wasn't like she threw them nearby so she can find them again.
Yeah, fuck. Is that like is that like just like a...
Just down the road in a big
bin,
in a big dump. She just chucked it under all this stuff. Like, it's going to be too hard to find those keys after that.
Woof. The jury is out on Izzy. Yeah. Because it might be it might be, if the auntie was being wild and rude, she might be saying some horrible, racist, homophobic things.
She could be.
She could have been some really, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then not getting violent or something.
Yeah.
Throwing your keys in the bin is, I think, quite like a funny act of revenge.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's a massive inconvenience.
It's a massive inconvenience, but no one's going to get hurt.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
However, judging by what else we've heard today, and the stories, the sort of ilk of characters who have come to Reddit for
our advice,
for validation.
Yeah.
I'm not confident that Izzy's not an asshole.
Yeah.
But I cannot confirm.
No. Well, look, Reddit have definitely confirmed not the arsehole, but we're going to leave it as unconfirmed at this time.
That's unconfirmed.
Until further notice.
Yeah, if Izzy could write in.
Please do. We'll wait.
Yeah. Oh, I'm bated breath waiting for
what she actually said.
Yeah.
I've got one more today. Is Adam the arsehole?
Come on, Adam, please. I would love a surefire, not the arsehole.
End on a nice one.
Yeah.
Am I the arsehole for saying, I hope my brother's dick falls off? So we're out at a restaurant. His wife and my wife and me and him. Mm-hmm. He was way better way to put that.
Too much double date family stuff. You were silly for doing that.
Yeah. We always get a tad heated, but it's never something I can't handle.
Okay, always means stop going for dinner.
Yeah, stop going for dinner. If you're always fighting,
we don't need to be doing this.
Yeah. And the poor wives that just have to sit there and take it. On this night in particular, we start shouting at each other out the front when we're leaving. And I tell him he's probably adopted anyway, and who gives a fuck about him?
How old are you? Is this like a nursery double date? Like
they don't say
you're probably adopted? What?
Yeah, just two little kids that let's say we're married. We're just married now.
Yeah, exactly. Like mums and dads in the playground.
They're playing a game.
Sorry, an adult yelling at his adult brother.
You're probably adopted
anyway. That is really tough to hear.
Really tough. He tells me that I need to grow up because there's so many growing up in this.
You all should be adults. You all have a phone and an internet connection.
He tells me I need to grow up because I've always been such an annoying fuckhead. In brackets, he writes, actually called me that.
An annoying fuckhead.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
You just said you're probably adopted and not from your family.
That checks out, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told him that I hope his dick falls off and that he has a car crash on the way home.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, hope your dick falls off is fine.
At the start, that's all we heard, not the car crash.
Yeah,
like,
I hope you have a car crash on the way home. That's
pretty huge to say
That's a left turn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pun not intended.
That's right. Him and his wife got really upset. Kind of dramatic, I know. In brackets, I know. I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say. I know.
Typical women.
Women, am I right? And anyway, now I'm the bad guy. Like he was a good guy up until this point.
Yeah, so far you've been nothing but a bad guy.
You've been awesome.
Yeah.
My wife even told me I overreacted and I took it too far. So even his wife on the way home was
God, his wife is like, Jesus, what did I marry into?
This sucks.
My
life sucks.
These two terrible brothers, yeah.
So am I the arsehole? Don't bother commenting if you think I am. I don't have time for you Reddit idiots.
Okay, so Adam, with that final statement, you're a fucking arsehole.
Absolutely. Right then after it to be like putting it on Reddit and going, don't comment.
Yeah, don't fucking comment on this.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah, I think arguing with your brother and slinging silly insults is not necessarily complete arsehole behaviour.
Hope your dick falls off is kind of
Hope your dick falls off is funny. You're an annoying fuckhead is funny. You're like, If I didn't already think Adam was an arsehole, saying like, you're fucking adopted.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, oh, they're playing around.
They're playing. Yeah, it's play fight.
Yeah. If you go for dinner and always get heated, stop going for dinner, you weirdos.
They just shout out the front of the restaurant. I imagine they go to the same restaurant all the time as well.
Just like, stop,
they're back.
Like, stop doing this.
Yeah.
And like, please, liberate your wives from this awful Friday night, like, double date from hell.
Yeah. Every Friday night.
Yeah. I hope you have a car crash on the way home.
Yeah.
But also, are we doing like a sort of mudslinging context?
And
of course, it's like kind of a little bit bad. It's like just not the funniest thing to say. I hope you have a car crash on the way home.
Yeah.
But then in another world, he was like, I hope you fucking did on the way home.
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been fine.
Yeah.
But I understand his wife was probably like, I really hope we don't have a car crash on the way home. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
But keep going for dinner when you hate each other is really stupid.
Yeah.
And then the final comment about I actually don't want your fucking opinion is that you're an arsehole.
Absolutely.
Get off Reddit.
Now, of course, Reddit have said, not the arsehole.
Not the arsehole. We love you, Adam.
Everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. Now, at the end of that...
What restaurant was it? Yeah.
At the end of that, we had some lovely people that have written in on reddit.com and you have defined a few arseholes and
majority
actually all pretty much arseholes and one unconfirmed. That was the only one.
Maybe Izzy, which
We're not sure.
I'm
We're still not
really
sure.
banking. Yeah, but actually, let's just put her in the group, so it's just all 7. Yeah.
Christopher, how do people find you and tickets to your show on the 29th?
Yes. If you follow me on Instagram, it's Christopher Hall with an X instead of the I.
Yep.
Same on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because Christopher Hall, spelt correctly, was taken by a wonderful person somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
And if the tickets there for the show in Sydney on the 29th.
Amazing.
And if anyone is in the UK, listening to this podcast, we'll be, or anyone in Australia will be in Edinburgh in August. I'll be there.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.